Welcome to Hecate's Crossing. Today's card for reflection, Coffee Tarot, the Five of Earth, a reminder that feeling sorry for one's status does not create changes. Time for action even when you may need to ask for help from others. Change your perspective to change your circumstances. Sometimes the solution is right in front of you. Take notice.
Hello, welcome to Hecate's Crossing. Okay, so you want to learn tarot, you've been learning tarot and you've got some questions. I'm here for that. But, I'm just here for whatever. Got a question relating to tarot? Up to you. So I just wanted to sort of get back online. I hadn't seen. So you're picking up tarot decks. There's so much to choose from. So let's begin with looking at tarot. Okay, you got your Rider-Waite-Smith type decks. You've got your, let's have a grab the sort of Tarot de Marseille. This is the Spanish tarot, but it's got the Tarot de Marseille. And then you also have the, oops, where are we? Oops. You got the Thoth Tarot as well. So basically you've got the Tarot de Marseille, which was your earliest tarot deck. Then you have the Rider-Waite-Smith, which was your 1908, 1910, 1909, by Arthur E. Waite. And then you have the Thoth Tarot, which was created in 1948, but not published until 1968. And that's by Aleister Crowley, but remember the artist, Lady Frida Harris. So there you are. That's the three main types of tarot deck. You're going to have the Tarot de Marseille, which has got the Spanish tarot, ancient Italian, the Visconti Sforza, one JJ Swiss. There's lots and lots of decks in this type where the minor arcana are pip decks. Okay, quite different than the Rider-Waite-Smith, where the pip cards or the minor arcana cards are actually have scenes on them. Hi Jackie, no worries. I was just going to talk about the different tarot decks that are available, and if you've got any questions in relation to tarot. I sort of did my live and that was quite good. I got did my 10 plus my donations as well. But I just did want to sort of share the different tarot decks and any other questions or anything about any other cartomancy that you're interested in and you want me to explore a little bit further with anything. So basically with the tarot decks, as I said, we have the Tarot de Marseille with the pips, which are non-scenic. You've got the Rider-Waite-Smith with scenic minor arcana, and then you have the Thoth, which is also traditionally a pip type of deck, but it does have keywords on them. They do say that it's an advanced, especially if you want to work with the astrology aspects of the cards, but that's totally up to you. So that's the tarot. That's the three different types. Now you will find that there are lots of decks that pull on these different systems. Totally up to you, of course, when it comes to the tarot. There's so many amazing decks out there. There's no right and wrong deck for you to start with. It's totally personal. For me, I began with the Native American Tarot. This is the deck that I began with the tarot. This is the deck that I began working with. This is the deck that made sense to me. It does have keywords in, sorry, in the minor arcana. You will see that they do have keywords here. So it's a very sort of simple deck to work with. It does pull on Thoth, which is a little different, which does expand the deck. The companion book, which you buy separately, I'm not sure if they sell it in a kit anymore, but it does come with an excellent guidebook. Yes, so true, Jackie, that the different methods expand on each other's methods. And that's why I love working with a variety of decks that really give you the options to develop and grow in your tarot readings. And that's why I think it's quite important to have a look at different decks, to have a look and see what's available out there. Because like with Jane Wallace's decks, which I think are absolutely awesome, especially when you want to work straight out of the box. If you're learning tarot and you want something a bit different, you want to expand your knowledge with tarot, and it also includes something. This is a crystal power one, and so it does have affirmations at the bottom of the cards. It does give you a crystal to that you can work with. Even though the minor arcana are pips, it's still a very, very easy deck to work with because of the affirmation at the bottom. It does give you that alternative. So there's so many amazing, amazing decks out there. Jane Wallace has got a huge selection of decks that again give you information on the bottom of the card that you can expand your knowledge with. It's incredible amount of information to do. Now, when you're learning tarot, keep it simple. I think sometimes, or even when you're doing a spread for yourself, if you're doing a reading for yourself, keep it really, really simple. I think sometimes people can see some of those amazing spreads out there that you can do with 20 or 10 cards, 12 cards, 15 cards, 20 cards. There's even that big 78 card spread with Atelier. But again, it can get really, really complicated. So I always say to people, keep it simple. Whoops, nearly lost the cards here. Keep it simple. Keep your spreads really, really simple. Choose a few, if you're doing a spread with a large number of cards. So it's quite cool when sometimes I do the spreads and I do the tarot, and then I include the oracle cards as well. Yeah, there's different Native American decks. This is the one that I found really spoke to me. Let me grab the guidebook. Now I'm working in the dark. It's not a good idea, I think. Here it is. Oh, this is the guidebook that comes with it. I think you can buy the book separately. I found it on Amazon. secondhand, of course. I think it was secondhand, but it's really good. And the one thing I like about this book too is it does do some different things that you can do with your Native American. If you want me to explore this a little further, it does. I have shared on the not just the spreads, which is a good selection of spreads here. It's also about meditation, about laying out the cards and meditating on, for example, the world. It says the scent is pinon, the color is forest green, the meditation, I am a caretaker of the earth, our mother, and affirmation, I do my utmost to walk the earth in a sacred manner. This one is a US Games one. Oh, I know the Los Scarabeo one. Yes, I know. I looked at that one as well. But this is yeah. This one does talk a lot about, as I said, meditation. You can also do visualization, where you lie out certain cards. And I have done this here. Visualization for love. Whoops, if you can see that there. If you lay out certain cards, like you start with the North card here, which is the star. And then Northeast is Two of Shields. So you lay out the cards in a certain position, and then you visualize these cards for love. So yeah, it's got quite a lot in it. So you could do this with your Native American tarot as well, if I lay out this information for you. You can do that. There's a visualization for health, visualization for prosperity, visualization for contentment, for abode, for justice, for enlightenment, for wisdom. So if I tell you what cards to go in each position, I could do that. I can share that information with you in videos. If you want to explore that with your own Native American tarot, yeah, that would be awesome. Okay, cool. So it does also do that. Now, the other thing it does here is it does talk about Native American tarot with the animal totems, what totem goes with each card of the major arcana, and Native American symbology. Hi, Bart. How are you? So with this deck as well, it goes into plants, stone, tools of focus, musical keys, shamanic journey, meditation point, chakra colors, Aztec deities with Aztec day signs in connection with the Native American major arcana, talks about Pueblo Cachinas, spirits and deities, and Kichiman, talks about what major arcana card with the Native American tarot goes with the classical Greek figures, classical Roman figures, and Egyptian deities. Can talk about Native American tarot with alchemy, color, and planet. You can talk about Hebrew letters. It is transcribed and the meanings of the Hebrew letters with the major arcana cards. Can talk about the Old Testament, New Testament, and Middle Eastern figures, Roman Catholic saints, and Afro-Brazilian deities. Dahomey and Haitian voodoo. Sorry, talks about voodoo. Retian Tikis talks about runes and Celtic deities with the major arcana. Arthurian legends with Norse deities. Tibetan Book of the Dead with the Chinese gods, I Ching, talks some about the I Ching as well. So there's quite a lot involved. So yeah, I can go into this a little bit deeper through July. As we're going into July, I haven't really thought too much about what I'm doing this month. So yeah, I can go into quite a little bit of information there about the major arcana cards, the prayers. Yeah, it does talk quite a bit about it. So yeah, I can go into a little bit more information in regards to the deities. I am still working through the Hello Quest. Now, I think it's really important that when you get a tarot deck, that you don't throw the guidebook away or the little white book, because sometimes they can have some quite good information. You know, even working through, now so let me see if I can find the I think I put the books, actually. There's the Thoth, there's the vice versa. So I think you can really, even the little white books, look, don't throw them away. Sometimes you can find a little bit of information about the cards and what they mean, and just might give you some guides, some thoughts. So interesting what you can dive into with the tarot. Oh yes, so what I was saying is I'm still doing the Arthurian tarot, and you know that I'm going through the Hello Quest, being in the Southern Hemisphere, focusing on our seasons, still going through the autumn and winter. Still got to go through the winter side of things, but yeah, I'm still working through the Arthurian tarot very slowly. I'm really taking my time working through that, which is quite important. Now, I loved working through the Swagatum tarot that I did. Did enjoy doing that and doing the spreads and things like that, just sharing a little bit of information. Now, I am doing the, at the moment, working through the Magical Norse tarot. Now, what I love, again, a Jane Wallace deck, you can use straight out of the guide, straight out of the box because of the keywords at the bottom. Oh, you're welcome, Jackie. You're welcome. Working through the books just gives you another idea or another suggestion for the meaning of the cards. It just gives you another tool. Now, what spread did I release today on my channel? If you've looked at the Magical Nordic tarot, and I think it was the Nordic Compass spread. So I worked through this spread this morning using tarot. Now, if you wait till next week, you will see that I've added an oracle deck to the spread. And then the final week is runes. So each week, I've added a layer to the spreads. So what I do is when I do a tarot reading with the cards, then sometimes I'll add oracle cards or rune cards to the spread to get another layer. And I think that can be quite important, that when we do a reading, we don't just walk away from it. that we take our time actually looking at the cards, having a think about it, leaving them for a while. I'll leave a spread out on my table for a couple of hours. And that's going to get you, when you lay out the cards, it's going to give you a chance to sort of think about it. I say, you know, when you do a reading for yourself, don't shuffle them up and redo the reading. Leave the cards out for a little while. Sit with them. Sit with the cards. I always say when you're doing a reading for yourself, don't throw the cards out straight away. Don't shuffle them up and put them away. Think about it. You know, I say, what do I need to know about today? This is the one thing I always do, is what do I need to know about today? What's important for me to reflect on today? So what's important for me to reflect on? The first card is about my own growth. I look at the keywords first. Growth, my emotional reaction to my growth. Maybe my emotions. What do I need to acknowledge about my emotions in regards to my expansion? Oh, take care, Jackie. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. So, and then I look at my luck, my fortune, my potential. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to reflect on my growth. I'm going to think about my emotions. And I'm going to think about my fortune, my luck. What am I creating in my life? I want to keep it really simple. I'm not going to go into too much detail at this time. What I'm going to do is just go, okay, I want to think about how I'm developing, how I'm growing in my journey. I'm going to think about my emotions. How am I feeling? You know, am I able to actually sit with my emotions? That's quite important for me right now. Okay. Am I creating my fortune? Am I creating my own luck? Or am I dwelling in the negative fortune? You know, am I wanting things to be positive, or am I... So yeah, really important here to think about your fortune. What's important to you in regards to your journey? So I'm going to sit with them. Now I'm looking at the cards and I think, okay, so what's Pentacles about? Pentacles is about your health, your well-being, your physical body, material finances. It's very earthy. So when we're talking about earth energy, it's very dense. Okay, there is a sort of a denseness to it. It's very slow energy. It's very slow. Hi, Jean. How are you? Welcome, welcome. So here we're talking about Pentacle. Pentacles, we're thinking about things that are very earthy energy. So we're talking about finances. We're talking about our physical body, our well-being, our material aspects of our journey. Then we're talking a sort of a practical sense. When we talk looking at cups, we're talking about our emotions, our feelings, our love, our relationships. There's many layers to each of the cards. Okay, and now we've got aces. Now these are both aces, so we're talking about new beginnings, a sense of new beginning, a new possibility, a new start to something. Now we're looking at queens. What version of cartomancy am I familiar with? Mainly I work with tarot. Okay, I work with tarot. Or which version of tarot? Which version of tarot? Mainly Rider-Waite-Smith, I would say I'm most comfortable with now. But I have worked with both Thoth and Tarot de Marseille. I have worked, and I do work with different oracle decks, of course. to include in the reading, but I don't do a lot. You're not memory in regards to that. You're not sort of memory with. I can work with Leninmand and Sibylla and Kipper, but tarot, mainly Rider-Waite-Smith and playing cards. If I read with playing cards, I normally would do numerology and suit aspects of it, Tarot de Marseille type of readings, that sense of but then sometimes the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery will come into mind. I think it's really about finding what works with you personally. So you read tarot and playing cards. See, I read tarot and oracle. I can read runes, can use Kipper, can use Leninmand. I do have rune cards that, of course, that I'm using. I do have I Ching and the tea leaf reading cards as well, but they're an oracle in a way. I think, Jean, what's really important is you keep it simple. You create your own journal, your own reference book, where you do your own keywords. Yeah, there are so many meanings for cartomancy. It's important to find what works for you. And if you read tarot confidently, that's really spot on. That's awesome. I think whatever you choose to do in your readings, you read well. And playing cards, if you're reading playing cards meanings, I think it's really important that whatever you choose to do, you do it well and you practice and practice and you keep on. But for me, I love expanding. I love doing other things, like with my Leninmand cards. Ooh. Okay. It can be a little confused. It can be quite hard, and you don't have to use all the others. I think it's about using. Yeah, every country and culture has such a unique version. Yes, there is so many different types of divination. So that's why I think it's very important to find what works for you. What I love doing, let me see if I've got. Okay, I'm just looking for something in particular here. Well, that's the Kipper cards. That's my German. I haven't got a German tarot deck, so that's what I need to do. What I was going to say about the Leninmand is I actually have a Japan Leninmand, right? Now, the reason why I got the Japan Leninmand is because, let me see if I can find it here. Like I shift things and put things away, and then I can't find what I'm actually looking for. There we are. I have a vintage Japanese tarot, which is why I've got the Japan Leninmand. I need to get a German tarot deck. That's what I do want to get. I like everything in themes. That's my problem. And then I have the Foxfire Oracle. So you see, I like to work with these 3 decks in a theme. When I'm doing a reading, I will do the vintage Japanese tarot with the Foxfire Oracle and the Japan Lenormand. Just sort of seems to pull everything sort of together. So yeah, there are so many different types of cartomancy and different types of tools for divination, but it's finding what works for you. I think that's really important. And it doesn't matter just because everyone else is using Lenormand or using Kipper cards or Sibylla or I Ching. Now, the reason why I got I Ching was because of the Oracle deck, the Foxfire. Yeah, it is a beautiful Oracle deck. Yeah, that's another Lucy Cavendish one. This one, Lucy Cavendish. Yeah, that's an Oracle. So vintage Japanese, Foxfire Oracle, and the Lenormand. Now, for the Chinese, for the I Ching, that was because I had the Chinese tarot. So Chinese tarot, whoops, upside down, doesn't really help. I Ching Oracle and the I Ching Oracle and the Chinese Oracle, which is the animal zodiacs, the animal sign, the animal cards. So like I said, I like to have everything in themes. I mean, it's a personal choice. Very personal. So here you have the Chinese zodiacs. So I've got the Chinese tarot, Chinese oracle, and then I've got the I Ching cards. Oh, the Fuhaxa tarot. Oh, yes, 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 yes. The fairies. So the Fuhaxa tarot. And see, with this deck here, I like to use, oh, when we sat on the I Ching. Oh, that was a bit heavy. The Fuhaxa tarot. And so with that, let me put these oracle cards away. Working in a small space can be a bit, got to be careful about putting things away. So let me just put the Chinese tarot away. Yes, the Fuhaxa tarot. Yes, I like her decks. I wouldn't mind a few more of her decks. I haven't as yet. That was given to me as a gift, actually, by a lovely friend of mine. The Fuhaxa tarot. Yes, it is stunning. Now, this is an independent deck. It's not mass market. You get it directly from her. Do not order it from anyone else. Must order it directly from her. Please be careful when ordering her decks that you are directly, when it comes to the indie decks, that you're ordering directly from her. Yes, they are stunning. Now, I like to actually use Mandy Pedersen's Healers of the Earth Oracle. Which I think are absolutely, light. Let me see. Let me see if I can just put up my screen. There we go. Yeah, I love the Fuhaxa tarot. I actually just gave a set, the extra set that I had, to a young girl who's learning tarot. Kind of cute. So yes, very much. So I like I said, I like mixing my tarot oracle or Lenormand type decks. So, God, now I'm going to lose all my cards, aren't I? So, yeah. I do like mixing my tarot and oracle when I do a reading. As you see, if you've seen my lives, that when you donate, you get a tarot and oracle reading. I like to be able to sort of add that little bit of extra. It's not just tarot. Sometimes it can be to do with the artist, the creator. Sometimes it's to do with the theme of the deck. I think a lot of it can be just my mood. So, yeah. Interesting. So, if anyone's got any questions they want in regards to cards. I just lost some of these. I don't know what this weather's doing today. It was quite cold this morning. Just dropped half of the soft tarot. If anyone's got any questions. Oh. Shouldn't work in such a small. I have to learn to put things away as I go. So, yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Jean. Welcome. Thank you for being with me. I just want to share a little bit of information that I can chuck online in regards to working with tarot or working with cards. Some ideas, some suggestions, some thoughts in how I work with the decks. Finding what works for us as individuals is so important, that we're not tied up in trying to do what everybody else is doing. Is really important here, to do what is right for you. You know, we all work differently. We all read cards differently. Important to find our own keywords. And don't get too complicated. It's important to sort of I find it's really important to sort of keep it simple. Oh, you're welcome, Jane. You're welcome. For me, it's about keeping it really simple. Don't get too complicated. Use 2 or 3 keywords consistently when you're working with the tarot. Could be quite important as well. Just to use 2 or 3 keywords that you use consistently, and then you can expand from there as well. Because I think sometimes we try to learn too much information. We try to learn, all we can about a card, and then our brains can't hold it. And I think that can be a big mistake sometimes. We try and do too much in one go. And I think that's quite important here. If we just try and keep it as simple as possible, choose 1 or 2 keywords that make sense to start with, and then expand from there. And you'll be surprised that the more you use the cards, the easier it will be to expand your knowledge with the card meanings. I think that's really important as well, not to get too complicated, because we can get a little complicated with our meanings, especially when we're trying to learn the cards. We can find ourselves getting a little bit complicated. Oops, try to pick up the Tarot del Tango cup. That was not supposed to happen. Right, let's put this one back. So I don't know if there's any more questions, because I'm going to this was just to be a quick live, just to see if anyone was on, just to see what I could share in regards to learning tarot. Like I said, use the guidebooks. when your own study. Super important here. Keep it simple. Create your own references by choosing just a couple, 1, 2, or 3 keywords at the most from each card, just as your own reference, and just keep it consistent with that initial meaning until you start developing. You'll be surprised as you start to read the cards how much layers can come out depending on the context of your question, your layout you use, the spread you use, the cards that surround that card around that position, what deck you're using can make a big difference, because you find different decks will read differently, of course, which is super important there. So I don't know if anyone's got any particular questions they want to ask about tarot or oracle or Lenormand, Kipper, playing cards, whatever you want. Just want to throw in a bit of an incense there. So if anyone's still in chat and wants a message, does anyone want a card reading? So if anyone wants a reading, or anyone's here, or I'm not sure, maybe I'll just do an animal spirit card message. Let me show you. Let me do just a card from a variety of decks. I'm going to do. Okay, so what card are we reflecting on? Okay, we're reflecting on the 7. Okay, the 7 is like the chariot, the sled. So we're talking about direction. We're talking about success and victory, triumphs in this moment as you move forward on the path that you're going on. It really says that you're going on the right path. It's not black and white. It's black and white. It's not really any grey area going on. There's a lot of contemplation, a lot of thinking going on before you actually move in the direction that you're going into. Super important there. Let's have a look at the spirit animal card. Okay, so the spirit animal card. What animal totem are we going to work with today? What animal are we reflecting on? Okay, we're looking at owl spirit. So it's being able to see clearly, being able to use that wisdom, that knowledge to be able to move forward. Super important in the past. So again, you got that contemplation, you got that thinking about the direction that you're moving into. And here you've got that sense of wisdom and knowledge. Okay, so one more card for this little one here that I'm actually doing is I'm actually going to pull, the Sacred Path cards in regards to this. Okay, and the card here I have is death and rebirth. So it's about the sense of letting things go so that you can be reborn. So that's why you're able to see things clearly. You're focused on the direction that you're moving into. You're contemplating the direction you're moving into with a sense of clarity. In this sense of this letting go of the old so the new can come in. Okay, so if I'm looking at Phil, you've got a question. Okay, so obviously it's Pip, you've come in. I don't know if I've seen you before. A new subscriber, someone new. Okay, so let's have a look here. So you're talking about your twin flame. Now, be careful about the words used, twin flame. Twin flame can be so many things. It's someone who's a mirror image of you. Yes, you're new. Okay. Now you're asking about twin flame. Okay, I want to talk about twin flames for a second before I start doing the reading for you. Okay, so twin flames. Twin flames, there's a lot of misconception in regards to twin flames. Okay, twin flame is someone that it's a mirror. You can be the opposite to what they are. You're not necessarily exactly the same. Twins can be opposite, not necessarily exactly the same. There is a drawing. Now, twin flames can be not necessarily romantic. Okay, twin flames are not necessarily romantic. Okay, twin flames, you might be on different paths, different journeys. Yes, there's a connection, but you're on different journeys. Okay, yes, you may be drawn together. So twin flames can be a bit of a, what do I want to say? Can not necessarily romantic, it's a bit of a misnomer. So you want to know about this person that you're drawn to. You realize that they're not necessarily going to be romantic, necessarily. You're going to get the answer. You could be on separate paths at this time. Yes, you're drawn together. Yes, there's that energy, but you might be on completely different paths. You're at different stages of your learning. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be together in a romantic way. So you want to talk about this connection. And a twin flame may not be who you expect. It may be just a soul connection. It could be a sense of a soul mate. So you want to know whether you're going to see this person. What's going on with this connection? What's going on with it? Is there possibly a reconciliation? A sense of a reunion? Oh, okay. 2 cards flew out. What have we got? Okay, interesting. Ooh. Interesting. We got 6. We got the Lovers card, right? So you think, oh, cool. It's the Lovers, it's the connection. But then we get 7, which is Horse Thief. Now you have to be careful, because I feel like you lose yourself when you're with this person. And it's not necessarily a good thing. A twin flame is not always positive experience. And this is what I was getting from this energy. Okay? Be careful that when you are with this person, you do not lose who you are. Mentally, I feel you lose who you are. You lose your individuality when you become connected to this person. Okay, Pip? I think you need to be very aware that you lose who you are when you have this connection with this person. So I do feel as though, like, you got the Lovers card coming up, and like, yes, there's this connection, this seeing. Okay, you're going to see this person again, but be careful you don't lose who you are as an individual. I think this is what I was getting, a sort of a pre-warning sort of sign, a bit of a, or a pre-message was sort of saying, be careful, be aware that you don't lose yourself. Yes, he's very overwhelming. So it may not be good for you. It could be toxic. So what I want to do is I'm going to do this for you. There's a little bit of an extra here. Okay, so yes, he's overwhelming. You lose yourself. Okay, so what do you need to do? What do you need to know about this situation? Okay, so the card I get here, actually interesting. Oh, okay. I feel like Spirit does have a plan, but I do feel like you could be resisting. And why you keep going, you keep getting drawn back into this twin flame. may not be good for you, may be toxic. So I just want to have a look. Yeah, so I do feel like Spirit's got a plan. I do feel like it's a lesson you need to learn. Ah, interesting. Because we get the storyteller card, which talks about expansion and growth, and we got dream time, which talks about unlimited vision. So it's time to expand your horizons. There's new possibilities out there. Yeah. All consuming can be toxic. When you're all consuming, it can be toxic. Okay? When you are not able to function in a normal way and it's all consuming, that can be very toxic to your functionality of everyday life. Okay? It may not necessarily feel like, even when it feels good, and it's all consuming, it can still be toxic. Even though it may not feel negative, being toxic is not necessarily negative. Okay? I had a relationship with someone where I lost all of who I was. It was really all consuming, and it felt really good. It felt so positive, but I could not function in day-to-day life. I could not get things done. I could not function in a day-to-day life. I lost who I was as an individual. And that, I learned, was what toxicity was all about. It was not that it was negative. It didn't feel negative. It felt amazing to be in this person's world. It felt amazing to be with this person. But man, could I not function in a day-to-day life. I could not function in a day-to-day life. Okay, so that's what they're talking about, Pip. It's not, when I talk about toxicity, I'm not talking about it being negative. You know, it feels amazing to be with this person. You say it's all consuming, and next minute you're saying that you can so you don't lose you don't spend time apart. When you're talking about being all consuming, it means that you spend 24/7 together with not being able to have your own individuality. It's like you're thinking about them all the time without being able to concentrate on other aspects of life. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is the message that I've got for you. Yeah, okay, you used the wrong word. Okay, so yeah. Well, maybe this is a reminder to expand your horizon. Look at your unlimited visions. It's telling you that Spirit has a plan. Yes, there's a connection. Be careful. It does talk about standing in your own power. No. I think it's just about living your life, and things will happen in divine timing. It does talk about Spirit having a plan. It does talk about expanding your own vision. You know, you've got unlimited vision. There's other possibilities. It's not talking about when you'll see him. It's just saying it's time to get on with your life. It's time to live your life and not worry about this. Don't worry about it. Don't focus on it, basically. It's just telling us just to expand. No. It's just telling me you got to live your life. You just got to get on with your life, get on with things. Things will happen when they're supposed to. He's got other stuff going on with his life. Yeah. I think it's just a reminder. I think this is just a reminder to live your life. I think it's just a reminder. It's just a reminder, not worrying about it. I don't know. It's unknown. Feels like he's got a lot of other stuff going on in his life. So basically, I think Spirit is just sort of saying, hey, they've got a plan. Things will happen in divine timing when they're supposed to. It's just don't worry about what's going on. And when you'll see him, it's just time to live your own life. I think this is just a reminder from Spirit to sort of say, hey, look, don't worry too much. Things will happen when it's supposed to. And just get on with your life. Just live life, and it'll happen when it's meant to. I don't think there's any time zone. I think any time limit. I think it'll happen when it's meant to. You know, he's busy. He's got other things going on in his life. You've got other stuff that's going on in your life. Basically, I think it's just a reminder to get on with life. And I think we all have to do that at times. So, yeah. Good. You're living your life. That's great. I think it's just a reminder. It might be just a reminder to just say, yeah, keep living your life. You've got expansion of vision, other things going on in your life. You know, sometimes Spirit can just give us that sense of a reminder. Right. That's me. I don't think there's anyone else around. So, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I think it can be just a reminder, Pip. Sometimes the cards can just go, hey, look, it's about living your life, expanding your vision. You got Spirit's got plan. It'll happen when it's meant to. Don't worry too much. He's got things going on in their life. You know, sometimes Spirit won't tell us what's going on in somebody else's life. We'll just say that they're busy. These things happen. So, yeah. Sometimes with a message, it's not always what we want to hear, but it's what you might need to hear. It's just a reminder. So that's it from me. So yeah. You're welcome. Take care. And that's the end of things for me.